It's a cruel world out there. It's hard to know who to trust. Seems like around every corner there's another hoaxster, jokester, or cloakster. In the end, one thing I've learned is the only person you can trust is yourself. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself with Word Hoax, the game of verbal cloaks, jokes, and master strokes. It'll make you lie to your mama, but don't worry, she's probably not playing this round. Here's your host, Tom Sherman. Wow, thank you, Mr. Announcer. Thank you to the internet for tuning in to the live stream of our Word Hoax public tournament on this Black Friday. And of course, many thanks to our stable of Word Hoax contestants waiting backstage. I'm your host, Tom Sherman. We run this public tournament every Tuesday through Thursdays, except on Thanksgiving weeks. And then we run it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to 8 Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Mostly because it's fun and we don't want to hang out with our actual family, but also so we can give out some sweet, sweet NFT prizes. So as our players start filtering in, let's remind the folks what everyone's playing for this morning, besides, of course, fame and glory. And that's one of these, an IOU NFT. This exclusive 1 out of 10,000 NFT is actually an IOU for a different NFT, a future NFT from an upcoming drop from Story Squad. So the current estimated cash value of the IOU NFT is $100 US. And although I can't show anybody on the live stream the artwork of the actual NFT, gonna have to take my word for it. Looks great. You're gonna want one. So, you should plan your lives accordingly. Let's see. Let's start bringing in the players from around the globe. Let's see. We'll start with our current weekly leaderboard leader, Tasha. Tasha, welcome to the Word Hoax Arena once again, wearing the, I don't know if it's patented or trademarked or what type of IP you have on that hat, but it worked wonders last time. Do you think the squirrel's gonna atop your hat is gonna give you the power knowledge needed to win another round, take the week?
Bob says yes, it's going to happen.
Bob, is that the name of the squirrel?
It's Bob.
Bob. All right. Well, welcome Tasha and Bob. Let's see. In second place on the week currently, Sackville-Baggins.
Woo!
What do you think here? What are your chances of losing?
Chances of losing are very high, Tom. I'm terrified of Bob the squirrel. Mm-hmm. Clearly that I question if that's a two for one deal there.
Right.
I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here as well, and I'm glad you're still confident in your ability to lose. Let's see. Coming from inside of a brick wall here, mark my word. Are you on the screen? Yes, there we go. Cementing your place in Word Hoax history, as it were, with the first person to play from inside a brick wall. What do you think this is going to rebuff the hat that Tasha is wearing? And is that the strategy here?
Yeah, I'm going full force, solid. I'm playing a solid game today, so
perfect. I love it, and I'm sure all the watchers and players are gonna love it as well. Pete, we've played before with Pete, but not in the public tournament. Formidable opponent here. Welcome. Do you think what do you think your odds are here of taking the day from everybody else?
Well, I haven't had my morning coffee yet, so I think I'm gonna hit dead last, but we'll see.
Fun fact, Tasha, Sackville-Baggins, and mark my word, all probably haven't had coffee yet. They like to run clean. Okay. That's how you win Word, folks.
It's an even playing field.
It's an even playing field. Although it sounds like a disadvantage for you because you're used to coffee. But hey, right. We'll see. And last but not least, Doom Bunny, welcome to the stage. You've had you played in one of our first rounds before, and now you're back with a vengeance. What do you think your chances are here of emitting some doom on on these people?
Some doom is 100%. All doom is 50-50.
Interesting insight there from Doom Bunny on the nature of doom, which I'm glad somebody has a handle on doom, because I'm normally on gloom, you know what I mean? But now we've got doom and gloom, and that's I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. But the Word Hoax.
Doom Bunny, don't waste those hot definitions. You got to channel them into gameplay.
All right, so I dropped the link here in the chat for our Word Hoax game. So far, we've got 3 people in. While everybody's getting in there, I'll go over the ground rules, how to play. I'm going to read a word, person's name, or movie title, and then you will have a set time limit to supply a trick definition for the word that sounds plausible enough that other players might guess that definition. No Googling is allowed. Keep it PG-13, please. We are a family show here, folks. Once time expires, we will read the set of fake definitions along with the real one as well and guess around the room. You get points if other players pick your fake definition or if you select the correct one. You can also pick your own definition in an attempt to sway the opinion of other players. However, you do not receive a point for your own vote. So in round 1, we will define a word. In round 2, we will write out the biography of a person. And then in round 3, we will write out the plot of a movie title. After that, of course, we'll crown the champion for the day, as well as today a champion for the week, update the running leaderboard accordingly, and make sure that we mark down who's winning these NFTs. All right. Whew. So with that, I believe we're ready to start. Are all the players out there in the room ready to rock? 2, 4, 5. And on screen, we've got 2, 4, 5. Perfect. All right. We are getting gone. I'm putting 71 seconds on the clock, just in case there's any leftover. I forget the chemical in turkey, but you guys get what I'm saying. We're all running a little slow here today, post Thanksgiving maybe. The word though is Zenzi, Zenzik. That is the word that you all have to define. 71 seconds on the clock, and I'm going to hit start for this first round right now. Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one-directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby. All right, let's see. We've got 6 seconds left, and only Baggins in so far. Here we go. And Doom Bunny, I'll add 20 seconds here for you, Doom Bunny, in case you had the answer ready. There we go. Perfect. So everybody's in for Zenzi, Zenzik. Here are your definitions. Number 1, a game played in school during the early 70s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. Number 2, an adjective in the Forgotten Realms series used to describe electricity. Number 3, the outermost layer of concentric rings orbiting a planet, most notably around Saturn. Number 4, the 8th power of a number. Number 5, an animal/creature from the Zenzi era of evolution. Or number 6, a Kabbalic construction similar to abracadabra used to cast the key of Solomon, first seen in the 9th century. All right, so those are your definitions here for Zenzi. Number 1, a game played in school during the early 70s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. Number 2, an adjective in the Forgotten Realms series used to describe electricity. Number 3, the outermost layer of concentric rings orbiting a planet, most notably around Saturn. Number 4, the 8th power of a number. Number 5, an animal creature from the Zenzi era of evolution. Or number 6, a Kabbalic construction similar to abracadabra used to cast the key of Solomon, first seen in the 9th century. So those are your options here. We'll start the guessing, and as per usual, we'll start with the leader of the week, who also happens to be the leader of the month, which is Tasha. What do you think here of your possible definitions, and what are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick number 6.
Number 6. Let me grab that. So number 6 is a Kabbalic construction similar to abracadabra used to cast the key of Solomon, first seen in the 9th century. Interesting choice there. Any specific reasoning why?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. With a specific reason, but not for public consumption. Let's see. Let's move to Sackville-Baggins. Where are you going here?
You know, I'm a sucker for the Eastern Bloc games. It's like Squid Game of Czechoslovakia. 1.
Number 1, a game played in school during the early 70s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. Interesting. Sackville-Baggins showing his weak spot for the Eastern Bloc of Europe. Let's see. Mark my word, you're up on the docket here, in 3rd on the week. So what do you think here?
I'm gonna go with the game. I think that's the first one, right?
Yes, that is number 1. Any specific reason why?
It sounds like a fun word, and I trust Sackville-Baggins, so I'm going to try another strategy here.
Interesting. It does sound like a fun word, and I would play the game Zenzi. Seems like it would be fun to throw a ball around. So, Pete, here we are. What's happening?
I'm also very convinced by number 1. That's so peculiar, and I just think that has to be the real definition of this word.
Interesting. A groundswell moving towards a game played in school during the early 70s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. Doom Bunny, as we know, 50% chance of doom or not. What do you think? Is anybody here on the right path, or are you going to strike out on your own?
So I'm going to strike out on my own, but it's tactical because I really believe that the first one's probably right. But if we're wrong, everybody's piling on that boat, and it'll put us in a really bad position. So I'm actually going to go with the. Oh God! Give me the last 5 definitions again.
So number 2, an adjective in the Forgotten Realms series used to describe electricity. Number 3, the outermost layer of concentric rings orbiting a planet, most notably around Saturn. Number 4, the 8th power of a number. Number 5, an animal or creature from the Zenzi era of evolution. That one?
Yeah. It's wrong, but I'm concerned about the potential.
No, that's fair. Making the sacrifice to make sure that, worst case scenario, the crowd doesn't give every point to a certain player. Going with the animal or creature from the Zenzi era of evolution. Are you a geologist by trade or paleontologist? Do you have insight into? Oh, yeah.
I'm a history buff.
Okay. Is the Zen era before or after the dinosaurs? I'm just curious, personally.
I don't think there is one.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, let's see what we have here. Honorable mentions going to Tasha with an adjective in the Forgotten Realms series used to describe electricity. Also, honorable mention to Baggins with the outermost layer of concentric rings orbiting a planet, most notably around Saturn. Interesting. That I might have guessed for that if I were playing, but luckily I'm not. So, anyways, the ones who earned some votes, Doom Bunny getting a vote from Tasha for a Kabbalic construction similar to abracadabra, used to cast the Key of Solomon, first seen in the 9th century. Pete, meanwhile, getting a vote from Doom Bunny with an animal or creature from the Zenzi era of evolution. Meanwhile, Mark My Words getting Baggins, Pete's, as well as his own vote with a game played in school during the early 70s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. Meanwhile,
Seriously. Oh,
Devastating. This is devastating.
dude, you guys are lucky that Doom Bunny sniffed that out and didn't go with that, because the right definition is the 8th power of a number, and that could have really put Mark My Words in a very advantageous position. So, good work, Doom Bunny, and Mark My Words. So, Mark My Words, have you played Zenzi? And did you call it that when you used to play that game?
I think I played that once when I was drunk. That's all I can say.
I could see that, and I could see that's how the name being called that too. You're like Zenzi. Anyways, that's a strong start here. Looking at the leaderboard, Mark My Words with 2 points, Pete with 1, Doom Bunny with 1, Baggins and Tasha not on the board yet, but as we know, it's really in the 2nd and 3rd rounds where the action happens. So I'm going to pull up a name, and let's see. This is what it is going to be. Or no, it's this one. Sorry. Boom, boom. And loading it in. So the person's name is Martin L. Apfelbaum. Martin L. Apfelbaum is the name. I'm putting 85 seconds on the clock for you, and here we're hitting start game right now for you to give the biography of Martin L. Apfelbaum. Look, I know what you're thinking. How do I play this game? Get in on these NFTs. Quit my corporate job. Well, let me tell you, it's easy. We run 2 competitions daily. Word Hoax, which you're currently watching, and Clash of the Pencils, a 1-page story contest where the internet public picks the winner each night. Both are a quick creative workout to get your mind right during the day, not to mention the fame, glory, and NFTs. If you're interested in playing either of these games, reach out to me, Tom Sherman, in one of the following ways. On social media, send me a DM in Twitter at ShermQ5 or at Story Squad HQ. Give us both a follow while you're there. If you're watching on the Facebook stream, send me a message. Other contact methods include any other way you can think of reaching me, up to but not exclusively playing 6 Degrees of Tom Sherman, smoke signals, and of course, skywriting. All right, time expiring, and again, I'll give Doom Bunny, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt one more time. With if you want to hit enter, I'll give a 20-second reprieve, and all All right, we're going to read these definitions, but not until after I stop sharing my screen.
You get it in?
Yeah, barely.
Barely getting in under the wire. So we've got 6 definitions here. 4. Martin L. Apfelbaum. Number 1, conducted a research on nurture versus nature and how that impacts fraternal twins living in low to middle income families. Number 2, a fellow writer, director, and dear friend of Mel Brooks, made lesser known films than Mr. Brooks. Number 3, executive vice president of a Philadelphia stamp collection shop, Earl P. L. Apfelbaum, Incorporated. Number 4, one of the world's most renowned librarians of his day, his lofty vision for the New York Public Library's iconic lions flanking the main entranceway became an international sensation. Number 5, a chemist credited with the creation of the very first newsprint ink in London, England. Or number 6, born in 1912, Martin Apfelbaum founded the famously successful Cracker Barrel chain of restaurants. So good slew of definitions or biographies here for Martin L. Apfelbaum. Number 1, conducted a research on nurture versus nature and how that impacts fraternal twins living in low to middle income families. Number 2, a fellow writer, director, and dear friend of Mel Brooks, who made lesser known films than Mr. Brooks. Number 3, executive vice president of a Philadelphia stamp collection shop, Earl P. L. Apfelbaum, Incorporated. Number 4, one of the world's most renowned librarians of his day, his lofty vision for the New York Public Library's iconic lions flanking the main entranceway became an international sensation. Number 5, a chemist credited with the creation of the very first newsprint ink in London, England. And number 6, born in 1912, Martin Apfelbaum founded the famously successful Cracker Barrel chain of restaurants. So that's where we're at. We're going to start the voting, and mark my word, in control of the day. So now you get the first pick here from inside that brick wall. What do you think of these biographies?
I'm positive and confident that it's the 4th one.
Positive.
This person is a librarian.
The librarian whose vision for the lions flanking the main entranceway became an international sensation. So what makes you so positive and confident about that one?
I will not say because everyone will pick up something. So I'd rather keep it to myself.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Keeping it close to the vest there, yet selecting number 4 nonetheless. Let's see here. It's Doom Bunny. It's your turn to pick now and tied for second. So what are your thoughts here? You're on mute, I believe. Now you're not on mute. Now I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why it was muted before. Number 5.
Number 5. Any insight or whatnot on that? Let's see. The chemist credited with the creation of the very first newsprint ink in London, England.
Oh, it's mostly personal reasons. I like newspapers. My grandfather was a chemist. Great-grandfather was a chemist.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Fair enough. Going with the gut there. Family connections and personal newspaper connect. Do you have a newspaper subscription now?
We do at the house.
Okay, nice. I have to come down to my dad's here and steal his newspaper because I used to have a newspaper, and then I realized that I was reading everything on the internet anyways. So I was like, why am I just collecting stacks of newspaper, slowly hoarding myself into a corner? Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Anyways, let's keep moving quickly to Pete. Pete, what's happening here? What's going through your brain?
Well, I think I'm concerned because Mark My Words gave such a strong recommendation for number 4, I think. Mm-hmm. So I'm if he's bluffing, I'm going to fall for his bluff and into this trap. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to say it's number 4 as well.
Going with
Hopefully
number
I don't look
4.
the fool afterwards.
Thinking Mark My Word was not bluffing, although interestingly enough, last round Mark My Word did select their own definition, but doing that back to back, that would just be crazy. So yeah, gotta see what we got there. Now, Tasha, what do you and Bob think here about these 5 definitions or 6 definitions?
Bob and I are having a disagreement. But I am going to choose the last definition.
The last definition. Born in 1912, Martin Apfelbaum founded the famously successful Cracker Barrel chain of restaurants. So was that your pick or Bob's pick?
I'm not going to. I plead the 4th. There's the 5th.
Plead the 4th and the 5th. Interesting. That's fair enough. Not letting us know who won the debate between herself and Bob. Sackville-Baggins. Here we are at the bottom of the barrel.
Fifth Amendment quartering soldiers in times of war.
Look, I mean, you
I'm
can plead
obsessed
the
with the
4th.
idea of that.
You can plead to quarter troops in your house. There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
might be wrong.
I
I'm going
think
with number 1, fraternal twin study.
The fraternal twin study. Is there a specific reason for that?
It was very specific. It seemed interesting. I would read that study.
Okay. Going with what they would want to read. So, all right, they're the guesses. We'll submit them and start running through, see what's going on. Honorable mention to Pete, a fellow writer, director, and dear friend of Mel Brooks, made lesser-known films than Mr. Brooks. Unfortunately, not getting anyone's vote, but a good definition nonetheless. Meanwhile, Doom Bunny getting Tasha's vote. Born in 1912, Martin Apfelbaum founded the famously successful Cracker Barrel chain of restaurants. Then Mark...
I counted in 1893, but I mean, hey.
You know, it's I don't know how many people had the Cracker Barrel founding date on the top of their heads. So that was probably the disagreement between Bob and Tasha. Mark My Word, getting a vote from Baggins for conducted a research on nurture versus nature and how that impacts fraternal twins living in low to middle income families. Certainly an interesting study that, maybe we can
like
Am I muted?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? You cannot hear me now?
I can hear you, Tom.
Okay. I think I hit the...
It might have been our audio.
I've got double mute buttons that I always accidentally hit. Meanwhile, we should write that up into a proposal, solicit it to the publication Nature or Nurture. Meanwhile, Tasha getting a vote from Doom Bunny, chemist credited with the creation of the very first newsprint ink in London, England. And then Baggins, the big winner this time around, with 2 votes from Pete and Mark My Word, one of the world's most renowned librarians of his day. His lofty vision for the New York Public Library's iconic lions flanking the main entranceway became very good. Are you obsessed with the New York Public Library yourself, Sackville? Is that
I love New York Public Library. Yes.
That seemed like a good one, but unfortunately, the real definition for Martin L. Apfelbaum was the executive vice president of a Philadelphia stamp collection shop, Earl P. L. Apfelbaum Incorporated. And I know you're thinking, why is that person being biographized? Actually, the first known usage of Black Friday in print came from an advertisement that Martin Apfelbaum wrote in 1966. So fun fact there, apparently the police in Philadelphia used to refer to that day as Black Friday because of all the foot traffic. And so they referred to it in an advertisement, and hence the legend began. But yeah, stamp collectors, who knew they were so influential in the retail world?
I wonder
Moving
if they
right
had
up-
to buy stamps to send out the promos for that Black Friday thing.
Well, it was in a newspaper. It was
Oh, fair. All right.
right. You know, remember this was the 60s. So they, yeah. Anyways,
It's that it wasn't the Fourth Amendment either, Tom. It was the Third Amendment. If you plead the Third Amendment, you can't illegally quarter soldiers in random houses.
what's the fourth?
The fourth is the search and seizure. Of
Oh.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Pleading the third is what intrigues me.
Pleading-
Sorry, Tasha.
Pleading illegal search and seizure is a strong move by Tasha, nonetheless. That's I don't know. I got.
I mean, I could plead all the 10.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's fair. It's I don't know if that's ever been used in legal a court proceeding, but I'm interested to see it happen.
And switch over to commandments instead of amendments.
I plead the Bill of Rights.
I plead the Constitution, and that's fair enough. So now here we are. Let's take a look here at the scores. Excuse the forever zoom there. All right. So mark my word, still on top with 3 points, hanging on by a slim margin over Baggins and Doom Bunny, each with 2, and then Pete and Tasha now running in tied for third with 1 point apiece. Lot of ground to cover though on this last one, so it's anybody's game here, folks. So don't count yourself out if you have, because that would not be good. I mean, you know, you got to play to win, you got to win to play, and I got to just fill time and dead air and talk like this until I load in the movie title that we're all going to be guessing. And that movie title is going to be called. It's going to be called this one. That's what we'll pick. Perfect. And as I load it in, the movie is called Go Tell the Spartans. Go Tell the Spartans is the movie title. I'm putting 99 seconds on the clock for everybody for this final round of the Word Hoax Public Tournament. And your time starts right now. I don't know what to say, really. When you get old in life, you find out life is this game of words. I mean, the difference between winning and losing here is so small. You know, one adjective too late or too early, you don't quite describe it. One plot line too slow, too fast, you don't hook your readers. The words we need are everywhere around us. They're in every story, every setting, every sentence. On this app, we fight for each word. On this app, we tear our rough drafts to pieces for that word. We claw with our fingernails for that word. Because we know when we add up all those words, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. And that's what living is. The 6 words in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look into the mirror, look into your eyes. And I think you're going to see an author willing to go get that word with you. That's Clash of the Pencils, folks. That's all it is. All right, here we are. 10 seconds left. Doom Bunny and Baggins in. Will Pete, Tasha, and mark my word make it? Yes, yes, and maybe for... Wow, buzzer beater right in there under the wire. Great work, everybody. Let's read these definitions for Go Tell the Spartans. Number 1, a 1987 Woody Allen film starring Annie Hall and Mark Hingerson. Number 2, unfortunate transposed translation of Bruce Lee's second feature film. This martial arts genre piece first demonstrated the actor's prowess in karate. Number 3, during the early 1960s, U.S. military advisors in South Vietnam discovered the same challenges that plagued the French army in Indochina 10 years prior. Number 4, a comedy released alongside the original Spartacus including our favorite trio, Larry, Curly, and Moe. Number 5, a movie about a fresh local football team in West Virginia facing a tough challenge of winning an elite championship. Or number 6, a parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. Some great definitions here for Go Tell the Spartans. Number 1, a 1987 Woody Allen film starring Annie Hall and Mark Hingerson. Number 2, unfortunate transposed translation of Bruce Lee's second feature film. This martial arts genre piece first demonstrated the actor's prowess in karate. Number 3, during the early 1960s, U.S. military advisors in South Vietnam discovered the same challenges that plagued the French army in Indochina 10 years prior. Number 4, a comedy released alongside the original Spartacus, including our favorite trio, Larry, Curly, and Moe. Number 5, a movie about a fresh local football team in West Virginia facing a tough challenge of winning an elite championship. Or number 6, a parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. So some great definitions here for Go Tell the Spartans. Mark my word, it's all on the line right now, and you're up top. So what say you?
I think it's the last one, parody of 300.
Let's see, going for the last one. Parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. Interesting. Any insight you're willing to share, or is that's just where you're going with your gut, or what you wanted to watch?
I want to watch this movie, so I'm gonna go with it. I think it's gonna be a fun, interesting one.
That's a good point. I would watch it as well. Let's see. Going to, I believe Doom Bunny is now, yes, Doom Bunny in second. Oh, what say you here? I'm not hearing your audio.
Yeah, me neither. Nope.
Number 5, I believe. All right. Oh, there you go. You cut back in. Number 5. Any reasoning there, or is it a fresh local football team in West Virginia facing a tough challenge of winning an elite championship?
Okay, it's Thanksgiving Day weekend, and it follows a trend of there being far too many football movies.
That's fair. A lot of football going on these days, and Go Tell the Spartans just might be one of them. Let's see. I believe Baggins is now. Yes, Baggins also tied in second here. What are you going for?
I'll take the Larry, Curly, and Moe.
All right, the Three Stooges one, which is number 4. Yes, number 4, a comedy released alongside the original Spartacus, including our favorite trio, Larry, Curly, and Moe. Is that the one you would want to watch?
I don't know. That's it. I'm going to vote for it.
That's fair. Yeah, you know, who knows? Let's see. Pete, here we are. You got to pick up some points, and you also have to get the right one probably to jump to the top spot.
Yeah, I think I'm in a pretty dark space here. Let's see. I'm gonna go. I'll also go with the Three Stooges, the one that referenced the Three Stooges.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think
have fond memory of those? What's that?
Okay, so it's a Three Stooges. It's what you would want to watch. It's not necessarily you think Baggins has some insight here.
Well, I've had such bad luck so far, so I don't think my instincts are serving me well. Might as well pick the one.
Fair enough. Might as well follow Baggins, who is notorious for leading people astray off the wrong choice. And now, Tasha, here we are, you and Bob, in dire straits as well. So what are you thinking here?
I think it's the last one. I think it's the 300 because I remember after watching 300, hearing that there was going to be like a parody made, and then being, wanting to watch it, but not getting to watch it.
Fair enough. A parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. seems likely. And there was something going on there. That was like right around the time where they did stuff like Scary Movie and all those sort of parody spoof films. So interesting. We'll see if that pays off for you. Honorable mentions going to Pete with a 1987 Woody Allen film starring Annie Hall and Mark Hingerson. And Baggins, an unfortunate transposed translation of Bruce Lee's second feature film. This martial arts genre piece first demonstrated the actor's prowess in karate. Focusing on who got some votes, Mark My Word, with a movie about a fresh local football team in West Virginia facing a tough challenge of winning an elite championship, snagging Doom Bunny's vote because of the football overload this weekend. Tasha, writing a comedy released alongside the original Spartacus, including our favorite trio, Larry, Curly, and Mo, which Baggins and Pete both decided was worth it, and unfortunately giving their votes to Tasha. And then Doom Bunny also getting 2 votes from Tasha and Mark My Word with a parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. And the real definition, turns out, was during the early 1960s, U.S. military advisors in South Vietnam discovered the same challenges that plagued the French army in Indochina 10 years prior. So let's see. I'll pull up the trailer here so that we can watch and see if this makes sense. Hold on. Can you guys hear it?
No.
No. All right. Hold on. Jeez. Stop screen. Share screen. Boom. Share.
And American cinema releasing. Before the headlines. Before the protests.
Here we come!
Where are we? I mean, geographically, where are we?
Vietnam, Penang.
Sure we're not in a loony bin?
The only way we're going to win this war is to get United States combat troops in here.
A handful of American military advisors led a group of soldiers into a deserted village.
Give them shotguns and sprinkle a few machine guns among them.
Men, we have been ordered to march into the jungle, where we will establish a fortress for liberty and justice.
Charlie's like a mole, damn it, they're dug in by now. That's the way the USA kicks ass, Johnny.
Too bad we couldn't have shown you a better war. Like hitting the beach at Zenzi. Or smashing through the Bastogne with Patton. That was a tour worth the money. This one? This one's a sucker's tour.
Bridge over the River Kwai, The Dirty Dozen, The Longest Day. There are many war movie classics. If this isn't one, it comes damn close. Burt Lancaster. Go tell the Spartans.
The little mothers are coming for us.
So there you have it. Go tell the Spartans. Interesting. Obviously not an American cinema classic because I've never heard of it. So didn't live up to the hype, I guess. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard, though, and go. Wow, Mark My Word and Doom Bunny tied at 4 apiece. Tasha in second with 3, Baggins with 2, Pete with 1. So let me pull up our scoreboard. And the only way to figure out who's going to win between Mark My Word and Doom Bunny is for me to click the blue button and go to the finale. And look at that. Boom. Doom Bunny on top. Strong third round with Go Tell the Spartans is not a parody of 300, which was a critical failure due to a lawsuit from Frank Miller, which prevented its release. Doom Bunny, walk us through that final round and how you came up with that parody film.
It was actually exactly what Tasha said. I remembered there was a parody
I racked my brains to remember the name of it, couldn't. And then I remembered this movie we were watching last night, which was actually Skyline. And the fact that it didn't release in the US until the next year because Sony was suing them. And I thought, well, now that's a likely story.
Right. There you go. Put them both together. The parody film that you all were thinking of is called Meet the Spartans, and that did get released. But good move there. Kind of making a little historical fiction, working with some facts and turning it into gold, as it were, digital gold. Let's see. Mark my word. Tough luck here today. Not quite getting the first round prize, but you did have a brief moment of glory with Zenzi, the game played in school during the early 1970s in Eastern Europe, which involves throwing a ball around. I know it's a tough loss, but I think you should still move forward, holding your head high, and just come back strong next week with that same sort of fire.
Yeah, I agree. I am very inspired and motivated to work harder. So
there you go. Just keep looking up random people's names and watching movies, obscure movies that I don't know how else you can prepare. Is there anything specific you're going to do in the next couple days to come back strong on Tuesday?
I might, drink some wine before the game, see if that helps.
Yeah, why not? That could help. Couldn't hurt. And then Tasha in third place. Let's see. The selected definition for you was a comedy released alongside the original Spartacus, including our favorite trio of Larry, Curly, and Moe. An interesting sort of route there. So take us through that definition and how you came up with that.
Well, honestly, it was very random. It sounded, we have a very creative bunch here. So I wanted to kind of appeal to everyone's creative side and throw in interesting things.
Well, there you go. And you did appeal at least enough to get a couple votes. And let's see. Oh, wait, sorry. That's there. And now I'm just tallying up some final scores here. I'll clue you guys in. So 4 points to Doom Bunny, 4 points to Mark My Word, 3 to Tasha, and who else? What was the score? Anybody remember? What'd you end up with, Sackville? 2?
I think I had 2.
Yeah.
Pete had 1. Mark My Word and Doom Bunny had 4.
Yeah, and then Pete here. So I believe if we look at that, Tasha on winning the week. So big moves there and maintaining the lead of the month as well. So congratulations, staving off a late comeback here by Mark My Word and Sackville-Baggins. This is the second, no, not second in a row, but the second weekly title you have taken. What's your secret?
This is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint. Consistency is key.
Just waking up every day, putting in those reps, and before you know it, yeah, you're on top.
It's squirrel. It's squirrel.
Bob's helping for sure.
We will have to check the rules, the bylines, and make sure that extra help from digital squirrels is legal. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but then again, I don't see why it would be. So, we'll just have to run through those. But until next time, thank you all to our players for joining us here on this Thanksgiving weekend for the final round of the Word Hoax Public Tournament. And we will see you folks next week at the same time, same place for a different hoax.